Well, welcome back to Tuesday night in the trucks. I hope everyone out there is ready to see some racing action as we are going to bring you some dirt track slinging some mud tonight. I am your broadcaster, John Ross, in the booth with Russ. Russ, how are you doing tonight?
It's Tuesday night. It's the Truck Series. You wanted the best. You got them four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. It's the Racing's Elite Truck Series live at Eldora tonight, buddy.
Man, I can't wait for this one. I am telling you, we have almost waited all season long. I think ever since we have taken over talking about these trucks and what's going to happen tonight, we have looked forward to this at Eldora Speedway. But we do have a little bit of house cleaning that we've got to do here quick and early, and that is going to be, let's get into what we're going looking at for points, because remember, Russ, tonight is the last night for those that want to make the playoffs to get in. So I'm going to pop up a little screen on where we stand here in points right now. And as you can see, you'll see that yellow line, and that is the cutoff for us. So right now, Honeycutt with the lead. Andrew Teft, Alex Teft, Blair Holloman, Sean Dunaway are going to round out your top five. Then you've got Rowan Sanfilippo, you've got Truth Hoke, Rob Yost, Curtis Ecker, Lee Campbell, and Kirby Wainscott. They're all in as of right now. However, you can see on the right-hand side, we do have some implications in this race tonight. You can see Lee Campbell is 3 points up. Kirby Wainscott 3 points up above the cut line. Philip Archibald and Jesse Fox, who will take the green flag tonight, both of those drivers are within striking distance of being able to make the playoffs. So it's dirt. It's something new for these drivers, but they're going to have to get this thing figured out if they're going to want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, leave it to Andrew Teft and the Racers Elite to make a dirt track the cut race for the playoffs, man. This is what racing is all about. Throwing something different in there and really pushing these drivers to their limits to see what they're made of to be able to make the playoffs.
Yeah, this is going to be something else tonight. We watched a little bit of practice, and I believe you're going to see a couple of new names that's going to take the field up front tonight. And we're going to close off, and we're going to show you, we're going to close off our track map, and I want to show you where we stand right now in qualifying. So we're going to throw up the NASCAR tower if we can. You'll see that over there on the left-hand side of your screen. Right now, Blair Holloman is going to sit pole position. Blair, we saw him, Russ, just jump in this thing right at the very end of qualifying, just hopped in and qualified. He is going to take the pole position. Alex Gates is going to be second on the field. Rowan Lloyd is going to be third. Honeycutt's going to take fourth. Yost, and I believe that's the driver that you're going to be able to look out for, and that's going to be that 83 truck that's going to start in fifth. We saw him pretty quick in practice. I have heard that this driver has some speed on dirt, and remember, he's about 19 points up, so I do think he's safe on that cut line, but man, it never hurts to get a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Rob was fastest in their practice session, and he's going to look to work his way up from currently P5 to try to sneak this one away. But Roland Lloyd currently P3 on the lineup board. Somebody that not really used to seeing running up in the front. It got some dirt track experience or something, and he laid down a very respectable time. Currently sitting P3, so maybe somebody else we have to look out for.
Yeah,
that's one of the curves of these dirt races. The same goes with the road courses. You just never know who may be a ringer in a certain aspect other than just asphalt oval.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk a little bit about this track as we go around and we show you some different views. But this track here at Eldora, it does have a cushion. But these trucks will run two different locations. You can run up on the cushion and really hang that right rear quarter right beside of that wall, and you will see a lot of drivers actually touch that wall, get into it. That wall is like a magnet for these trucks sometimes, but that bottom line can come in too, and certainly come in a little bit later as you will see these track conditions change. Right now, as you have this over aerial view of the track, you see these nice lines driven into it, but I will tell you, by the end of tonight, this thing is going to be slick, and it's going to have a lot of rubber, and these drivers are going to be searching for traction all night long.
Yep, I was just going to say the same thing. Track's going to rubber up as the race goes on, and you're going to see drivers searching around trying to find just a little bit of tacky, a little bit of grip somewhere where they can find some extra speed and get off of that slick.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we've got qualifying done. So what we are going to do now is we're going to pop up your qualifying results again. Blair Holloman taking your pole position. Alex Gates is going to be on the outside of him. Rowan Lloyd is going to start in third. Brandon Honeycutt in fourth. Rob Yost, which is my pick for tonight, by the way, Russ, is going to be starting in fifth. Brandon Sanfilippo is going to be sixth. Philip Archibald in seventh. Philip has a lot on the line. Only 3 points out of that cut line, so keep an eye on that driver. Truth Hoke is going to start in 8th, Jesse Fox in 9th, and then Sean Dunaway in 10th.
Yeah, Curtis Exler is going to start P11. Alex Stepp, another driver, didn't get a lot of practice in before qualifying started. He's going to start in P12. Andrew Chef is going to start in 13th, and then Kirby Wainscott's going to round out the field starting in 14th.
Well, I will tell you, this is going to be an exciting one. I cannot wait to get this one started. Like I said, we've been looking at this one all season long. We've had this one circled on our calendars, and I hope these drivers have too. So I'm going to see if I can bring us a little bit. And as you can see, these drivers now, Russer, they're getting lined up. I want to bring a few other cameras. You saw that. That's the sheep's foot there on the infield. We do have some scenic views that we can show you around the track. There's the old winter circle there at Eldora Speedway. We will bring a truck to that winter circle tonight to get a nice interview from them. So we also have some gyro cams, and that's really going to show what these drivers have to do as they kind of get these trucks sideways and around this dirt track at this high banking.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch, especially those in cars, because you kick these things sideways and all you see is the inside wall there. But it's running these trucks on dirt, it's what they call controlled chaos. And whoever can control that chaos the best, they're going to find themselves in victory lane here tonight.
Yes, they will. So keep in mind 120 laps here at Eldora Speedway. Last race in these trucks before we start the playoffs, and we will have a 4-race playoff series. We'll get into that as we go through the night. But right now, we just want to focus on these drivers getting out here on the track. You can already hear all of the dirt and debris that's going to be picked up and slung around this track tonight. Again, you see that nice, almost caramel colored track. That thing is going to be dark black by the end of this race.
Absolutely. These trucks are going to rubber this track up. It's going to get slick, loose. Like I said, don't be surprised you start seeing drivers looking early, trying to find some extra grip out there.
Blair Holloman coming in cold, setting your fast time. He will take your pole position and get us started. Alex Gates, really nothing new for Alex, with putting good runs together. We did see him in practice, and he was nice and strong. I look to see him up on that berm, really running that cushion tonight. I did see Rob Yost running about center to the low line. Look for that 61 and Rowan Lloyd run that bottom line as well. So you will see two very distinct lines tonight. So before we get started, Russ, who is your pick for this race?
Rob Yost is obviously strong. Rowan's looking strong, but you can never cut out a guy like Brandon Honeycutt.
So here we go. Blair Holloman is going to take the low line off of the green flag. Gates is going to be on that high side. He's going to get a fantastic run off of that high side, and you can see him inching out in front of Blair. Blair really throwing that truck in, making this lower line work early. And he is going to retain that lead. Let's see if we can go on board and just get a sense of what's going on already with this driver. Look at him just sawing the wheel there, Rush. You see how long he is off of the gas. Alex Gates now starting to make that outside line work just a little bit. 61 truck of Rowan Lloyd throwing that truck into the turns. He is up here on the high side. That line already starting to get rubbered up as Honeycutt into the wall. Sanfilippo is going to follow him into the wall.
These guys searching all over early on, getting up there into that high line. That's going to be probably your preferred line early on in this race, but it's going to be interesting to see these trucks moving around as the race goes on, as we see our first caution of the race.
Yeah, it does look like we've got a couple of drivers that show that they have crashed. Let's go back and take a look. Curtis Ecker being one of those drivers. He is going to be in this 8 truck. Oh, and it looks like Jesse Fox is just going to get loose sideways, and that is going to pick up Andrew Teft as well. Don't see a whole lot of damage on those trucks, Russ, as our speeds through these turns are right at, 60 to 75 mile an hour. So you can see some pretty heavy damage on the right-hand side. But again, I don't think aero is going to be an issue here. So I think those 2 drivers are going to be able to get back in line and keep going.
Yeah, and they have these guys have a fast repair, but, a short track like this and it's dirt, you're not really likely to see a lot of heavy damage. So that may be something they might just be able to come down pit road, take a few seconds of repairs and get back out there without having any major problem.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see now, folks, that bottom line, I really think, Russ, as this night goes along, is going to be the line that's going to get preferred, because that high line already starting to get rubbered in. Look how black it's getting on the entry. So that cushion is going to work. That cushion will be there, but it's just going to be how slicker these trucks going to get on entry and exit of these turns. As now Andrew Teft was in and out of pit lane, getting those repairs done like you talked about a little bit earlier, as already the lights out on this pace truck. And you can tell tonight, Russ, this thing is going to go by in a hurry as these drivers lap around under 20 seconds a lap at Eldora Speedway.
Yeah, we've got 120 laps here. No stage breaks, just, precautions or whatever. These 120 are going to click off pretty quickly.
Yes, and we will continue to remind you all the way throughout this night, but keep an eye on Philip Archibald and Jesse Fox. Those 2 drivers trying to race their way in, as now the truck is in, and Blair Holloman not wasted any time to get on the gas. Problem is he got a little sideways. That allowed the 77 truck to get a fantastic jump, and he is on this high side, and I believe you're going to put the 77 truck to the lead.
Yeah, that outside lane's got a lot of momentum on corner exit there, so great start by Alex, and he's going to use that powering on the outside to take the lead.
Oh, Blair really trying to keep the throttle down on that truck, not able to do it. As you can see, sparks now starting to fly off of the rear quarter panel of that 77 truck, making that outside line work. Brandon Honeycutt right behind him. And that is probably the driver you don't want to be on the back end of your tailgate, really sitting there watching you drive, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get around this track, as now Brandon is going to go to school here on the back end of this 77 truck and try to find a way to get around him.
Yeah, Brandon is a very methodical driver. He's very patient. He pays attention. He sees what other drivers are doing, and then he's like, then he tries to figure out, all right, this is what I need to do to try to get around him, and he'll make it work eventually, I'm sure. But right now, he's just comfortable running around second place.
Yeah, half a second is the gap between first and second. So we're going to go back just a little bit further. Sean Dunaway, Truth Hoke starting to battle side by side. Dunaway really making that bottom line work, finding some grip there, sliding up in front of Truth. So now putting Truth up, as it does look like Rowan Lloyd is going to be your fastest driver on the track so far in this race session, going purple last lap, and he is starting to work on the back end of Honeycutt.
Yeah, again, a driver that you're really not used to seeing being up in the front. Maybe he's got some, real life dirt experience. Maybe he runs a lot of dirt on the sim. Races like these really bring out the secret driver in certain people.
Yeah, that battle for the lead still waging on, as now you can see Truth Hope back to the back bumper of Sean Dunaway. I believe Sean got up to that higher line to try that line out just a little bit. It did not work for him. You can see he's right back to searching for grip. Truth finding and making that high line work. But now you've got Andrew Teff coming to battle with these 2 drivers, as he has some room to make up. And he's making this bottom line work. And I will tell you, Russ, he was one of your quicker drivers. Had a fantastic week last week, picking up a couple of wins. Has been on a roll. This driver is looking to take this 98 truck forward and put himself back in victory lane again.
Yeah, back-to-back wins in the last 2 weeks in the Truck Series here for Andrew, and looking to make it 3 in a row. He's got some work to do to get there, but definitely can't count him out as these laps wind down.
Sean is searching around this track. You can tell he just hasn't found a line he is quite comfortable with yet. But that does put Andrew Teft really on his back bumper. It looks like Andrew trying to work a diamond line now. Oh, and that's going to put him into the wall heavy. And Truth is going to be right back on the back quarter panel. I believe Truth let off as to not make that a little bit worse. Andrew back in the wall, so this driver just having to get his rhythm back down, and he is going to make a dive slider move in front of Dunaway. Look at him having that 98 truck hung out.
His truck was sideways halfway down the straightaway, John. He's driving that thing right now.
He is getting after it. He's got some positions to make up from where he was. Now let's go back and check in on Philip Archibald. So Philip, he is at your cut line. He is 13th. Kirby Wainscott is 3 points ahead of him. Kirby right now is sitting right here. So it does look like Kirby just a little bit off pace. And it looks like Archibald is going to be up in 7th. So Kirby going another lap down. This could get extremely tight for that transfer position tonight.
Yeah, you definitely want to start these races to at least get your points, but man, when it's a tight battle, you can't really afford to have a tough night. And so far, it looks like Kirby's struggling just a little bit with that number 10 truck.
Yeah, we're going to start to add the battle box down here at the bottom right-hand corner for everyone to see. As you can see that drivers, we're going to highlight those drivers. You'll see the zeros for Philip Archibald, as that is the driver we are currently highlighted on. You will see that Andrew Teft now about 0.8 of a second. You can see him on the screen starting to come back and stalk this 11 truck. But you can see that truck in front of him. He's got about a 3-second gap to Blair. Let's go back in and check on Blair. He's down 5 positions, taking that pole, still working this bottom line. But, man, he is having to really slide that truck all the way up to maximize that exit speed.
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult line to run. You're really trying to get as much throttle time as you can, but, whether or not it helps you with the speed is a whole nother story.
Truth Hope back onto the tailgate of Sean Dunaway. Sean making that pass a little bit earlier on in this run. Truth now starting to find some traction, find a line that he likes, but we're going to pop right back up here as Alex Gates continuing to lead this race, but that lead has started to shrink as Honeycutt is following his tire tracks, just really looking for Alex. Oh, and that might be the mistake he needs, as Alex is now in the wall. He is able to bounce off of it and keep the momentum going, but Brandon Honeycutt starting to put the pressure down.
Yeah, he's searching, watching. But man, I've been watching these top 4 drivers here for the last 10 or 15 laps, and every one of these 4 drivers have been in the wall. That wall gets sneaks up on you, and it really sucks your truck into it if you get a little bit too high in there. And every one of these top 4 drivers have seen that wall more than enough times in the last 10 laps or so.
Well, I can tell you this, that 61 truck is looking very, very sporty. That's sitting in 3rd right there. You can just tell the aggressive nature that he really gets into these turns. And let's see if we can go on board with Rowan, because I want to see him from a gyro standpoint. Just want you to take a look at how these trucks, this is what he sees when he's driving. He doesn't even know where Honeycutt is. He's just searching for every little bit of grip that he can get. That's just impressive for these drivers to do that so close to one another. Oh, and he's going to get the wall. Brandon's going to follow him into the wall. So just like you said, Russ, the wall taps continue to happen. Alex Teft up there on the outside, just trying to stay out of everybody's way. Rowan is going to take that low line. And I do believe that's going to be the key. That driver that searches around and finds where everyone else isn't running. You know how this goes, Russ. If you want to pass somebody, you got to race where they are not. And I think that's going to be the key. Brandon really dedicated to the top. Alex dedicated to the top. Whoever finds some grip down at the bottom, I believe, is going to be the one that is going to be successful. And don't look now, this driver, Rob Yost, coming to the front.
Yeah, he's been kind of riding it out there in P5, but he's starting to work his way up there and battle up with these top 4. But it's just like you said, John. You take a look at that outside line. Look at how dark that track has gotten up there. All that rubber that's starting to build up, that's getting slick. that the 61 there, Rowan Lloyd, starting to look on the bottom side a little bit, trying to see if there's any kind of speed or grip down there, trying to find somewhere different. Like you said, you can't make passes running where other drivers are running. You got to be where they're not.
As this continues on, it does look like this Rob Yost truck, this 83 truck, is really nice and smooth, really good on entry. As now you can see him going underneath of Alex Stepton. Sometimes that's what it takes too, Rush. You go to pass a car, lap car, whatever it is, and you have to get outside of that line to make it happen. And you pick up a little bit of speed and you find out where you want to go. But I will tell you, Brandon is not allowing Alex Gates to get away from him. But this 77 truck is putting up a heck of a race early on with 34 laps into 120. He has taken this lead, and he is really commanding that top line well.
Yeah, he's holding Brandon off, and these top two, Alex and Brandon, they're starting to pull away a little bit from Rowan and Brandon Sanfilippo back there, third and fourth. So maybe these guys are trying to just follow each other and gap themselves from third and fourth.
Oh, Truth Hoke and Sean Dunaway cannot find their way away from one another again. Just nose to tail. It looks like Sean really struggling on the exit. Truth doing really good getting in, and he's strong on the exit. So really opposing forces, and that's why these trucks are so tight together. But this battle right here is going to continue to wage on, and this is for 9th and 10th here on the field.
Allen it hard already. I mean, and one thing I just got to thinking about too, and I'm not quite sure, is whether or not these drivers are going to have to make a pit stop, because I know a lot of the iRacing setups for dirt in these trucks, they put a lot of fuel in them. So I'm not 100% sure whether these guys are going to have to make a fuel pit stop tonight or not. It'll be interesting to see as we get closer to like the halfway 60 lap mark.
Yeah, normally they, especially on these dirt tracks, because there's no way you can make a green flag stop. I believe they're going to be able to make it on the fuel, but I will tell you, the way that some of these are sideways, and make no mistake, up there on that line, that top line might be your fastest way around this track, but it is also going to eat some tires. So these drivers are going to have to deal with these trucks starting to loosen up a little more and a little more as you lay rubber down and as these tires get a little bit of wear. But it does look like Alex and Honeycutt have really found themselves in a good position to race these things out, as now Honeycutt with a pretty solid lead back about a 1.4 second to Rowan. And it looks like Rowan and Brandon's battle not quite over yet as well. You can really see Rowan taking that sideways line all the way through this turn, and Brandon a little bit straighter drive through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 there, Russ.
Yeah, a little different strategy or driving styles there through the corners. Rowan's really kicking that thing sideways, which scrubs some speed off, which is good because it helps you really power out of the corners. But Brandon running a little bit of a straighter line, he's able to hold a little bit more speed through the center of the corners here.
You can definitely tell who is a seasoned veteran on the dirt and who is not. But as Rowan just really wheeling that truck around this track, Brandon's going to get up in the wall so hard he's going to lift the right front tire off of the ground, and that is going to give Rowan the space that he needs. Rob Yost not too far behind, about a straightaway, but I will tell you, it does look like Alex starting to sneak away just a little bit, about half a second up on this driver.
Yeah, starting to pull away just a little bit from Brandon Honeycutt there, but Brandon's not one to go away very easily, so he may have a half a second, but I'm sure we'll see Brandon right back up there battling with him here shortly.
Truth and Sean just having a battle all their own. It might not be for the lead, but it is fun nonetheless. Truth trying to find a way around him, and oh, he is going to get loose on exit. Oh, he's going to hang on to it. Right in front of the leaders. Here comes Alex Gates. Brandon Honeycutt to get put a lap down. Wow, that was just absolutely insane. So Truth's going to have his work cut out for him to get back to the bumper of Sean and keep that battle going. Let's continue to go through the field, and we're going to look back on this 83 truck. There is a pretty good gap here, as it looks like Rob is going to be about 1.6 seconds behind Brandon, but about 5.5 seconds in front of your sixth place driver, and that's Blair Holloman. It does look like, Russ, Blair has started to calm that truck down a little bit from that earlier driving, and is starting to find a good solid line and just turn laps.
Yeah, the one thing I've been noticing with him is, he's been running where most guys have not, and that's kind of like right in the middle of your corner. A lot of guys running there on that high side, some guys trying the bottom. Right here, you see Blair kind of running in the middle lane. Maybe there's still some grip right there, and he's able to capitalize on it.
I tell you that the difficulty Blair's having is on the exit of those turns because, here on dirt, wheel speed is a killer. So if you are over-rotating those rear tires to try to find some traction, that's what's generating the heat in those things. And so you see, Rowan, he's kind of hung out like the 61 truck is as well, but you take that bottom line and you're having to slide that truck all the way to the wall. You're just getting a lot of rear wheel speed on the exit. And that's just going to be detrimental to your tires. We're going to go back here as Andrew Teff now up 6 positions from that starting spot, sitting in 7th, coming back after that incident early on in this race. Really doing a great job here, Russ.
Yeah, just kind of settling in, running his own line, running his own race. Not really, much to worry about in front of him or behind him at this point. He can just kind of settle in and run.
Let's catch everyone up on our battle for the cutoff line. Lee Campbell is not in attendance tonight, meaning that now Lee was only about 3 points ahead of one of these drivers. I do believe that's going to put Philip Archibald in a cutoff spot. As now we have a caution, Curtis Ecker showing as crashed. Let's go back and take a look at this, and then we'll continue on with that. Oh, just getting into the turn a little hard, looping that truck around. Really easy to do. And, Russ, I think that could bring all of your drivers into the pits if they want new tires. But now they're still turning some fantastic laps. They don't need to go. It looks like their lap times are about low 21s.
Yeah, that was just a question I was going to ask you here. We're 53 laps into this race, and you come in and take tires, or you just stay on out there. We'll see what these drivers are going to do.
Blair Holloman is going to come down the pits. That is your 6th place driver coming down the pits, and let's see what's going to happen here with Blair. And this is going to have to be a super fast pit stop. And it looks like maybe a little bit of fuel or some damage repair on that truck, because I do not see that thing getting up in the air for tires. Yeah, maybe fuel
just
only.
A little bit of repair.
Yeah.
Fuel only, maybe a little bit of repair. Yep.
All right, so let's go back here and let's talk once again to this cutoff line, because Philip Archibald, I do believe he's going to be able to jump Lee Campbell, who is not in attendance tonight. So that position is going to put him up into the top 12. Jesse Fox now is going to be the next one. Jesse is going to be 7 points away from Lee Campbell or Kirby Wainscott. Well, we're going to push Lee back down and out. So it's really going to be Kirby Wainscott, Philip Archibald, and Jesse Fox are going to battle for this position.
Yeah, and unfortunately, looks like Kirby's decided to take his truck to the hauler for the night.
Yeah, that is going to be difficult, as now we are back green. 77 truck of Alex Gates taking that right back to where he ended that on the top, hugging that cushion, getting up there. Honeycutt doing the same thing, following behind him. Now Rowan Lloyd, and it looks like San Filippo are going to be your two that are going to be battling it out. Remember that 61 truck really in 3rd position most of this night. 12 truck taking advantage of that high side and making that pass, put him in 3rd.
Yeah, that high side still got the speed. I mean, you can see Andrew Teff, starting to work on Rob Bios there too also. I mean, this high side's still where you want to be, I guess.
Yeah, Rob getting himself back up top. He's going to get into the wall. That is going to leave a slight window open for the 98. It is going to be closed on the exit of that turn. Andrew still committed to going low and running that midline. He's able to find a little bit, but you can see how those trucks just really over-rotate on the exit, and that's what hurts them from those drivers on that top line. They can get into the turn better, but it's just being able to get off and run down the straightaway that's really hurting them.
Yeah, a lot of times, these guys are going to have to, coming off the corner, they may only be half throttle because other than that, they tromp on it. The rear end may step out a little bit more than what they want to. Again, controlled chaos, man.
We are now about halfway through this race. We're going to rack them back up. Alex Gates, still your leader. Brandon Honeycutt stalking him as he has done all night long. That put that 12 truck now in third position, getting by the 61. Rob Yost is going to be in fifth place. He is starting to work this bottom line now, as you saw him up on that high line on the restart, now starting to work the middle to bottom line in 1 and 2, and it looks like he's going to go middle in 3 and 4.
Yeah, we're halfway, and now's maybe the time to start searching around and try to find some extra speed somewhere.
Blair Holloman working that bottom, trying to get around Sean Dunaway. As you saw that driver come down pit road, potentially get some repairs completed on that truck, and looks like he has found a little bit more speed, as now right in front of them is going to be that 11 truck. And do not look back now, Russ, but here comes Truth Hoke to get back to his battle here with this 01 of Sean Dunaway.
Yeah, Truth's one of them guys, he'd never give up until he's out of it. So, good on him for getting himself back in the hunt here.
Yeah, he is back on the lead lap, and he is getting back after it. It does look like Blair is still going to try to search. He's going to over-rotate, have to take the diamond line on the exit of that turn. It's going to work out for him okay. But I think Archibald, again, and what a slider line by your 32 truck, having to get Sean Dunaway to check up. That is old school dirt track racing slider line at its best.
Absolutely, man. Dirt track racing, you throw it in there and hope for the best, and man, that's exactly what he did right there. Great slide job.
Yeah, Blair getting that position away. Now he's going to set his sights on this 11 truck of Philip Archibald. I believe Philip, if somebody's in his ear, really just needs to get this race completed, keep this truck clean. He's going to be ahead of Kirby. He is, we know, ahead of Lee Campbell. So just keep this race clean, stay out of trouble, and you, my friend, are going to be in the playoffs.
You got 4 races coming up that you can go battle for a championship. Right now, it's just about holding on to that truck, bringing it to the checkered flag, and getting yourself locked into those playoffs.
I will tell you, we saw this driver doing this at Lima Land on asphalt, so no wonder he is doing it here at the dirt track of Eldora, just hanging that truck out in every turn, as he is starting now to close in on Andrew Teft in that 98 truck.
Trying to find just a little bit of extra grip there, but yeah, he's definitely closing in on Andrew a little bit. Seen a lot of these guys at Lime Rock getting a little sideways here, putting in their practice for tonight.
That's right, and practice they had is, don't look now, but this 12 truck starting to find a little bit more speed, now starting to creep in on the back end of a Honeycutt in that 13 truck. Brandon finding some really good lines now, Russ.
Yeah, as I said, he's still up there on that cushion. And you keep seeing that 77 truck, Alex Gates, extend that lead out just a little bit. And then when the 13 and the 12 start battling each other, but then, 13 ends up getting back away from the 12 and gets right back onto Alex's rear bumper.
Yeah, these top 3 have really been an accordion all night. It really has been the top 4. It looks like Roy Lloyd. And we have another crash, Truth Hoke, bringing out our third caution. And here we are back to him and Sean Dunaway fighting for position. Truth's going to make contact and just over-rotate that truck, bringing out the caution. I do believe he's going to be able to stay on the lead. He's going to have some pretty heavy left front impact.
Yeah, that's not what he wanted to do right there.
Truth is going to be able to stay out in front of your leader, so he is still going to be on the lead lap as he's going to beat that pace car around. Might need to come in for some pits, as it does look like we've got Brandon wrecking. This might just be a checkup with the 55.
There for the caution. Yep.
Yeah, it just looked like he stopped on the track as a checkup to that 55 truck. So nothing to see there. So we're going to go right back up here up front. Curtis Ecker is going to get a lap back. You see him going around. And we do have a lot of drivers that are just kind of stopping on the track and flipping up as crash. But as we reset and we are looking again at that cut line, I do believe Philip Archibald is going to make your chase for the next 4 races. Kirby Wainscott, I believe, is going to be in. The big thing here is going to be Kirby Wainscott, who has taken it to the trailer, and Jesse Fox. Jesse right now shown in 12th position, Kirby in 14th. I just don't know if that's going to be enough. Now, Brandon is now stopped on the track, getting past.
I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, he's showing Brandon dropping all the way back to P11 and a lap down.
Not certain what has happened there with that 12 truck, folks. Is I'm not sure if that is an iRacing issue.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if maybe he had a issue with his PC or something.
Would not be the first time we see someone blink out.
No, definitely not. That's really unfortunate, though, for Brandon. He was having such a strong run up there battling for this win.
Absolutely. That would have been a podium kind of run. Is he coming back up to the front here? It does look like he is trying to squeeze back in here, but we are fixing to go green. Sanfilippo is going to be in a very tough position, having to squeeze his way back up. Alex Gates with another fantastic restart. Honeycutt sliding in front of Rowan to take that position over. Look out for this 12 truck. You see, is down at the bottom. Andrew Teff now on the outside. He's going to make this pass way too hard, and now Brandon sideways again. Oh, this just goes from bad to worse as Brandon trying to get his truck gathered up underneath of him. He still shows us a lap down in 11th position.
They saw him trying to get back up there to get his position back, but I don't know if he realized that he was a lap down or not.
That would have given him a black flag if he would have started all the way up there, being a lap down and out of position. So we'll just have to see how that goes on as we're going to go right back up here to the top. So now put Andrew Teft in that 4th position. Alex Gates still your leader. Brandon Honeycutt still running in 2nd. That opens the door to Rowan in 3rd in the 61 truck. But don't look now, because here comes Andrew Teft.
Never count out Andrew Teft.
Absolutely, and it does look like purple lap to Brandon Honeycutt, last lap at a 19.89. So these drivers' tires not a factor tonight. This is all gas pedal with them here at Eldora Raceway. You can see Rob Yost just really throwing that truck in there, trying to find a way around Andrew. Rob, with this kind of run, Russ, is going to be locked into the chase for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he just needed a good finish here. Oh, see, Blair almost went around there, back there behind him. Yeah, he just needed a good finish here tonight, lock himself in, and he's having himself a good run, running P5 ground.
So it looks like Brandon's able to settle himself back down, start looking at the back end of this 01 truck of Sean Dunaway. Man, such a shame for him. Fantastic run going here at Eldora. Really found his rhythm early on in this race, was able to get around Rowan and putting a lot of pressure on Honeycutt before that caution came out.
Yeah, definite heartbreak there for Brandon Sanfilippo, you know, up there battling with Alex and Brandon Honeycutt for this win. And I know he still wants to be up there running right now. Said not exactly sure what happened to him, but yeah, that's a shame for him.
82 on the board of 120 laps here at Eldora Speedway. It has really been a fantastic race. Only 3 cautions so far in this race. These drivers doing a great job getting these trucks around these turns. Really thought that bottom line was going to come in. Does not look like it has yet. That predominant line being the outside. Alex Gates taking this lead early, never looking back. Honeycutt has been stalking him the entire race, but Alex just keeping himself out front, hitting his marks, and just setting sail. He can stretch it out a little bit, and then Brandon comes back and gets him. But I would say, Russ, these are your two trucks that have been the class of the field tonight.
Oh, 100%. These guys have been battling it hard all night long. See Brandon taking a little bit of a peek there for the lead on Alex, but I noticed these drivers starting to come down off of that wall just a little bit as this race winds down, and it may be the defining factor of whether Alex is able to hold on to this lead and take the win or not.
Yeah, I do believe you saw that little peak down at the inside by Honeycutt, and that is where Alex kind of dropped that truck down about a half a lane lower to block that next peak that might be going on. Rowan Lloyd, extremely loose. Back there is going to lose a lot more ground to these first two drivers, as now that is over a 2-second gap between second and third. It does look like Alex, like you said, coming off of that wall a little bit, getting a little bit straighter on entry, has found himself turning some pretty solid laps here, starting to inch his way back away from that 13 truck.
Yeah, but you can't ever count Honeycutt out. He'll get right back up there. He's watching Alex as these laps wind down and seeing what he's doing, and he'll make the adjustment, I'm sure, and he's going to try to battle for this thing come the end of it.
Does look like now Brandon Sanfilippo was able to get around Sean Dunaway. It does look like Truth Hoke able to get around both of them. So out of all the adversity that this driver has had, he is now in 6th position. One of your quicker trucks, much faster than Rob Yost there in 5th spot. So Truth is starting to come on late.
Yeah, he might have found something. Never count Truth out. He's always there till the end. So.
Yes, he is. Blair Holloman has just been wheeling that truck around all night long, is getting overly loose a few times, cost him quite a few positions. He is now starting to chew his way back up, and he is looking underneath of Sean Dunaway. Sean has really ran a nice, clean race all night long. Maybe not had the pace that he has wanted here, but I do believe he is going to be an extremely strong contender come playoff time.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Yeah, he's going to be one to watch out for in his final 4 races. He's been consistent in the races that we've seen him in, and I look forward to seeing that Hello Kitty battle for a championship.
This is a fantastic battle right here. Andrew Teft on the top, Rob Yost Jr. down on the bottom. This 83 truck trying to find his way around Andrew. Andrew holding on to that great high defensive line. Rob Yost really starting to send that truck in on the entry on the low line. But I will tell you, this is a driver here, Russ. I have not seen people able to get off of the turns on that bottom line as straight as Rob is being able to right now. So that line possibly coming in now.
Yeah, very, very possible. I'm going to tell you something else too, John. We got a heck of a battle for this lead up here. I saw Brandon Honeycutt take the lead, and then he turned it right back over to Alex Gates. Not sure what happened, but man, that was really, really fun to watch.
Let's go take a look at it. It looks like Alex Gates down to the bottom, allowing Honeycutt to go around. Not sure what happened there. Maybe Alex getting a little loose off of the turn. Falling pretty far behind, so might have been a little bit of contact, and then it looks like Alex coming back, and Brandon Honeycutt's going to do the same thing for him. So looks like maybe a little bit of incidental contact, and Brandon doing the really honorable thing there and giving that spot back.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if maybe it wasn't a thing, so Brandon could get a lap lead, get that bonus point just in case, then just turned it back over to Alex. It could have been just a little bit of a, here, you lead a lap, you get your point, and then I want it back.
Yeah, that gentleman with 3 wins, Brandon Honeycutt, already on the season. Andrew Teft, the driver we are watching now in a battle for Rob Yost, is going to be in second and 2 wins. Really been coming on late. That driver has a ton of momentum going into these playoffs. Alex with a win as well, and then Blair Holloman, you can't count him out. That is last year's championship driver. I believe he won 7 races last year in this truck series, so he's going to be one to watch come playoff time. But right now, Brandon Honeycutt with your majority of your wins, more than anyone else here with 3.
Yeah, Brandon is strong just about anywhere you go. You can never count him out of any of these races. And he's definitely going to be the one to keep your eye on over these last 4 races of the season before the battle for the championship.
Yes, it is. This is your closest battle on the track. That's why we're bringing you there. We are going to bring you back up front now as Alex Gates really turning on a spectacular performance so far tonight. We are 22 to go, and that will click off in a hurry as they are still turning about 20-second lap times. So this thing will be over in a flash. But I got to tell you, what a great run by this 77 truck. We seen him early when we started calling these trucks go from the front to back a few times in a few different tracks, but man, we have never seen him as strong as I believe that we are seeing him tonight.
Yeah, 100% agree. You know, we've talked about him a couple of times. We started in the back and then, you know, worked his way to the front and then, you know, ran into some kind of an issue, you know, ended up not having the kind of result that he wanted. But tonight he has definitely shown that, you know, he's the one to beat and doing a great job all race long.
Yeah, I will tell you, though, Honeycutt is not giving this thing up. We have, and it looks like we are going to come out with another caution as Jesse Fox register crashed. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Jesse. Jesse trying to make it into the playoffs. Oh, and he's just going to over-rotate. Oh, some pretty big damage to the back end of that as he backs into the fence. He's going to be able to get that truck going. But, man, Jesse really needing it. It does look like there might be enough damage. Oh, he's going to get a little bit of damage on the left front, and that might break the tire on that truck, Russ. It looks like he's going to take this thing right to the pits. He might be calling it a night.
Pit road. Say he might have already used his fast repair there. I mean, coming down pit road and then towing, you know, it wouldn't have been very much damage, but maybe I'm wrong. It didn't look like he hit all that hard, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, and I'll probably be wrong again in the future.
That's right. Alex Teff showing, okay, I believe these drivers, it's showing that they're crashing on our screen, but they're just slowing down and almost stopping to allow these drivers to get back in front of them. So as we rack this thing back up, 18 laps to go. Alex Gates, still your leader. He is going to be able to fire off first. As you see, those lights are now off on that pace truck. Behind him is going to be Honeycutt. On his outside is Andrew Teff. Andrew really strong last time on that restart, snagging another position. So look for him. Try to stay on the outside and give Brendan a hard run and take over that second spot.
Yeah, that outside line is still fast, so I would not be surprised to see Andrew jump up there and take that second spot away from Brandon on his restart. That
and here
bottom
you go.
line really struggled.
Anytime that pace truck gets off, you are able to go green. Andrew is going to try to hang tough on the outside, but Brandon is going to close the door.
Sent it right into turn one.
And I mean, Brandon wanting to get that second spot, close the door on Andrew, who is now in third position, trying to eye a podium. Rowan Lloyd now onto his back bumper. He wants a podium position. 15 laps to go, just a few under 10 minutes. And we are going to have our podium drivers here. As now Andrew a little loose getting in. Rowan's going to dive down underneath of him.
Pretty wide.
Blair Holloman digging at the very bottom of this track. I mean, he is hugging that inside retaining wall, trying to cover some ground. Andrew holding strong on the outside. This is going to be your race here. As now there's about a six. Yep, go ahead, Russ.
I was going to say, it looked like Brandon Sanfilippo got around back there. Yep, we got a caution.
We are going to do this all over again. Brandon Sanfilippo showing crash on our screen right behind Blair, his opportunity to make up some positions. And he's going to make contact with Sean and go around. So again, that's just really having to come out of that turn with a lot of momentum. And man, we're going to rack them back up and do this thing again. Fireworks are coming here for the last 12 laps.
Yep, I was just going to say that. You know, we're closing in on 10 to go, and this is when those pull them belts down tight and really start ripping this thing. So now we're going to see some fireworks. We're going to see some action out of these drivers trying to battle it out for this win.
Again, Jesse Fox I believe, is not going to be able to jump over Kirby, as now they are going to be 13th and 14th respectfully on the field. So it does look like that Kirby is going to retain that spot and stay in this playoff hunt that will start for us next week. All right, here we go. One more time. If you're the 77 truck, you are begging for this thing to go green the rest of the time, and you are also begging for Andrew and Brandon to fight this thing out for second and let you sneak away, as Brandon has been extremely close, certainly close enough for a nice little dirt track slider line for the end of this race, and he might be setting that up. But what you want is a good half-second gap so that that can't happen to you. And here we go. We are fixing to set these drivers back up for yet another green flag start. Pace truck is in, and there he goes. 77 truck off. Andrew able to stay on to Brandon Honeycutt and stay up on that high line. Brandon not wanting to give that up. Oh, and now Andrew's going to run over each other. They are door banging here at Eldora.
Yeah, Andrew did not want Brandon squeezing himself back in up there on that top side, and he was not going to lift to let him in either. So fireworks shooting it off here at Eldora with 9 laps to go.
I cannot believe those two drivers did not get rotating around and create a wreck, as now put Honeycutt back to third position. I couldn't imagine that he is going to be extremely happy about that, as now they are going to beat and bang and try to find their way around. Honeycutt now looking low, trying to find a way around Andrew. Andrew trying to make that truck as wide as possible as he shows him the door of that 98 machine. Now he's going to get in the wall. Rob Yost Jr. now getting into this battle.
Now Brandon Honeycutt and Andrew Teff getting into a heated battle has allowed Rob to jump right up there with him, turning it into a 3-truck battle for third.
And that is exactly what that 77 truck wanted. Now up 2.5 seconds now. Oh, it looks like Andrew's going to get a little loose. Put the block back onto Brandon Honeycutt. Brandon kind of getting off of that bumper, I think, in a respectful manner. Now Andrew loose again. Brandon underneath. Here it comes. Slider line. He is not going to be able to get up there quite yet. Oh, and they're going to make contact to go around.
Oh, man.
Oh, and then
That's
Honeycutt.
Not what you wanted to see.
Honeycutt coming up and closing the door on Rob Yost, who was there. Now he's getting put in the wall. Caution laps, 5 to go, and I can tell you that is probably a heated chat room right now, Russ. That was one of the best beating and banging races that I have seen so far this season of this truck series.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great battle. And, if it would have just stayed clean, even if they were off of each other's doors, man, that would have been a good fight for second, but that's not what you want to see. That's tough. Andrew not happy. Oh! Little extracurriculars going on there.
Little after caution extracurriculars from Andrew, as those two drivers not happy with each other.
Wow, John.
We're going to see if Honeycutt's going to be able to get his spot back. But, that's what happens. It's either short tracks or now we can see them here at these dirt tracks as the tempers flare. Honeycutt now coming in or slowing down on the inside of this track. I think he might have to go to the back if it shows that he had a crash.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up getting the EOL for that caution, John. I think he's going to have to go to the back here.
Oh, I see. Okay. So race control giving an EOL to that driver. Well, I can tell you what that is going to do, and let's not take anything away from this 77 truck, as he has put on one heck of a show here at the front. That's going to open the door to not only Rob Yost Jr., but look at this 55 truck, Russ, up here in third position now, as we have 3 to go here at Eldora.
Never give up Truth Hope there. Working on his way up there to the top 3.
Oh, Rowan Lloyd is going to dive it in to try to get that third position. He's still right there on the quarter panel of Truth Hope. He's going to throw it in again. Will we see a slider coming from Rowan Lloyd? Blair Holloman now in the mix with all of this. And there is the slider 61 truck with a great exit off of that turn, able to put that truck back into third position. As you can see now, Gates up almost a second on this field as now the white flag is come out. And here you go, your driver that has dominated all race long, picking up a great win here at Eldora Speedway.
Alex Gates gets it done at Eldora.
Wow, the fireworks were going off late in this race, but this driver really, from the very onset, we knew he had a fast truck. He come out here and he showed it, put that thing up against the wall, never really looked back. Him and Brandon really 1 and 2 with some close battles, but fantastic drive by this 77 truck.
He's been in the hunt all season long. We've seen him have some really great runs that have not necessarily panned out the way that he wanted them to, and tonight he finally gets it done here at Eldora.
As you can see now, the fireworks going off in the background. Congratulations to Alex Gates in that 77 truck for a fantastic, dominant performance here tonight, bringing home his first victory of the season, and he did it in the dirt. We're going to watch him burn down. We're going to see if we can hide this. We are going to throw up your official results. As we're going to go through now, Alex Gates, your winner. Rob Yost Jr. picking up second. Rowan Lloyd in third. Fantastic pass there on Truth. Great job by Truth on a comeback tour there, finishing fourth. Curtis Ecker, somehow, I believe Curtis bringing out 2 cautions, finding his way in fifth. Great job by that driver. Philip Archibald in sixth. Brandon Sanfilippo in seventh. Sean Dunaway in 8th, Blair Holloman in 9th, and Honeycutt is going to come home in 10th.
Yeah, then 11 on back, you got Alex Teft, Andrew Teft in 12th, Jesse Fox and Derby Wayne Scott going to bring it home in 13th and 14th to round out the fields here tonight.
So there you go, folks. What a fantastic show. What a fantastic race that we have for you tonight here at Eldora. And we are going to see if we can find some of these drivers and call them up and get some quick interviews with them. And let's see if we've got anybody in the waiting room. We do have Alex Gates, your winner, in the waiting room. So I'll tell you what, let's go back just a few laps for him. And we're going to see if we can bring this driver into the booth, and we'll go ahead and talk to your race winner. And that is going to be Alex Gates. Alex, John, and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, I will tell you what, Alex, fantastic drive by you. It looked like that high line was really working, had a great jump there on Blair on that initial start. And it didn't look like, it looked like you were really in control the whole night. It looked like Honeycutt was right on your back bumper most of the time. You would accordion away and they get back together with each other. But looked like 3 or 4 trucks, really the class of the field. And you were certainly right in front of all of them. How did your night go?
It went really well. Due to the practice and the qualifying, the track got really loose or really slick pretty quickly. And I got to give a big shout out to Honeycutt for kind of helping me out and giving me advice and kind of not pressuring me to make those mistakes. Joined the league very late. Join. I think this is like my 15th race of the season. So he's helped me a lot. Kind of taking me under his wing, so I'm very grateful for him and that team, and then Andrew for putting on all these races. But it was fun. I watched all the videos you guys do from every truck race, and I hear you guys say my name like, oh, he's coming up, And today I was like, all right, I'm gonna be the one that they're gonna talk to. So.
No, you've done fantastic, and I believe it was about 3 or 4 races ago. I think that you started in the back. I don't even think you qualified. Started in the back, and you were the biggest mover throughout the field that night. And you've shown a lot of speed, and I will tell you, this is kind of like road racing. And I think Russ mentioned it a little bit earlier. You have those that are really good at dirt. And have you run dirt before, or was this really your first time on the trucks here at Eldora?
I mean, other than me and my dad messing around. Before I deployed a few times. I never really raced on dirt. Once when I found out that this track was on the schedule, I figured, okay, if I'm ever close in points come towards the end of the regular season, I was like, all right, I'm going to win it at Eldora. So the last 2 weeks, I've just been running several laps around the track. get a feel for it, see how it feels. Obviously, it's different when you're by yourself, but they helped enough to where I can win the race tonight. So
Yeah, and when it you did led obviously the majority, if not really all of these laps. I did see a little tussle with you and Brandon, where it looked like maybe you got a little loose and come down. Brandon made that pass and allowed you to come back. But outside of that, man, you put on one heck of a show, Alex. Fantastic job picking up this win tonight, and we'll turn it over to you and let you give your shout outs.
yeah, I appreciate it. Biggest shout out is towards Brandon for putting on all these races. I know it takes a lot of his time, and sometimes they fall through. Obviously, I want to thank my wife for putting up with my strange addiction. Doesn't cost a lot, but it still takes up a lot of time. And then all of my buddies at work that are watching the race. I think my dad's watching right now, so I just want to give a big shout out to my family.
Well, man, I will tell you, congratulations on picking up your first win tonight, and we're going to get you back to the waiting room and let you go celebrate with your teammates.
Thank you.
All right. And there you have it. There is your winner, Alex Gates. And we're going to go in reverse order because it does look like we have your second place driver here of Rob Yost, and I will pull him on up, Russ, and you can take over from there, sir. So, Rob, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, boys, what's up?
Hey Rob, how you doing, man? You showed a lot of speed during the practice session. You were top of the board, and they didn't. Not sure if you qualified or you didn't lay a time down, but you started in the back. You ran a pretty smooth and consistent race all throughout, just kind of working your way slowly and methodically back up through this field, and you find yourself in P2 tonight. Tell us how your race went tonight. How'd you feel?
Well, I always have this race circled on my calendar, and I finished second last year, and I came in here either to repeat or go back to win, at least win. And I was purple in my second lap of qualifying, and it didn't stick coming off four, so we had to start fifth. I didn't think those guys would jump up there on the top. I thought we would run middle of the bottom for a couple laps, save fuel, because I knew we didn't have a large field, and I knew the cautions were going to be not that many. Well, till the end, but they got up there and started blazing a pace, and I either go with them and blow fuel off, and tire off, or fall in line. And then about halfway through the race, I tried to go to the bottom, I tried to go the middle, try to find something. There's nothing down there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We were talking at the beginning of the broadcast about how later on in this run, we're going to see the top side be the dominant side. We're going to see that rubber up, and we're probably going to see drivers going to the bottom, trying to find that extra moisture to try to get a little bit more grip, try to find some different speed because you gotta go where they're not if you're going to try to make moves. And we saw a couple drivers try to do that. We saw you try to do that. For some reason, the bottom just never seemed to come in tonight. So was it just a thing that you try a couple laps at a time and then say, okay, yeah, it's not going to work. I got to get back up top or I'm going to fall back?
Well, you always have that in the back of your head, but it doesn't hurt to go down, especially on dirt, to cool your tires off. You go to the middle of the bottom. I don't know if you saw in their caution, but I was up against the wall. On dirt, it's completely opposite. You want to cool your tires off to heating them up, especially when it's slick around the top. And I raced with these guys, I think 3 or 4 years now, so I knew I could fall back a little bit and possibly get back up there. But then we got some Easter eggs dropped on us there in the last 5 to 10 laps, and that helped.
Yeah, it's dirt racing, man. It happens. We were kind of expected to see those late race cautions, but hey, it worked out for your benefit. We've seen you be fast most all season long, and this just happened to be one of the ones that you were really zoned in on. So we'll go ahead and turn it over to you. Let you give your shout outs.
Yeah, I definitely want to thank my girlfriend Heather, my brother Blair Holloman on my team. He wins well, he used to win a lot. He's won a couple this week or this year. Everyone at Bearded Goat Brewery, Izzy, Keyman, and Victor. And I hope Victor is having a good vacation out in Michigan, and can't wait to see him on Saturday.
Well, we appreciate that, Rob, and again, congratulations on a fantastic second place finish, and we'll get you back to your team.
All right, boys, have a good night. Thank you.
You too.
Thanks, Rob. Have a good night.
All right, there you go. There is your second place driver, Rob Yost Jr. It looks like we've just got one gentleman left here, and that is going to be Rowan Lloyd. So let's see. He is in our waiting room. So let's see if we can't bring him into the booth. Rowan, this is John and Russ in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey boys, how's it going?
Hey man, listen, sometimes it's fantastic to be in the booth, and sometimes it's great to be a driver. And I got to tell you, it was a lot more fun watching it than I bet you felt sawing at that wheel all night long. But
Oh man.
one of the things I can tell you is, we saw that you were really quick in practice, and then you come out here and man, I really didn't see someone attacking this track as aggressive as you did all night long. Was that your goal was to really get into the turns pretty hard, get the truck sideways and carry out, because it looked like you were really driving that into the turns?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, my main goal was to stay off the walls, and I just could not, for the life of me, get off of it. But there towards the end, I lucked out. I was fine. I was fine grip. Stayed off the walls, and got me here. So, yeah, I was a little worried about the fuel mileage as well. I know we started with a little less than 120 laps, but yeah, like I said, it all worked out.
Yeah, it really did, and it looked like you fell back just a little bit. I believe it was on after that second caution where the 12 truck was able to get by there for third, and it looked like those three had kind of checked out on you a little bit. But man, I will tell you, you took those cautions and you found a way to drive yourself right back up there, and you really started to make that low line work. A couple of little slider lines, and here we are in third position. So Rowan, congratulations on a fantastic race tonight. Great job coming in third, and we'll turn it over to you and let you give your shout outs.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Well, I got to thank my friends and family. I know they watch from time to time. I got my boy on the hood. He let me use a picture of him, so I got to thank him for that. I thank Andrew for putting on this league. I know it's pretty tough, but he's doing a really good job. And you got to thank everybody else for being clean. And thank you guys for broadcasting it. I know you're doing a really good job.
Yeah, we appreciate that, man. Congratulations on your third place finish. And we're going to see you at the start of the playoffs next week. Only 4 races left here for this season.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but hopefully we find some speed and find some grip and maybe get a few wins under the belt.
You got it, man. We hope to talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you guys later.
And there you have it. There is your top 3 tonight. Man, I will tell you, this has been exactly what we thought it was going to be, Russ. Just a lot of drivers fighting to get into the playoffs. It was a blast to watch. Some fireworks late. We saw quarter panels, doors flying off of these trucks. Man, what more could you ask for here on the dirt?
Yeah, exactly. Like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, we had this one circled for most all of the season because we know what these drivers are capable of and how these drivers can race. We were really, really excited to get here to the dirt at Eldora. And man, these guys did not disappoint. We saw just a little bit of everything. We saw the hard fighting, the battling, the door slamming. We saw the patience wear thin, and we saw the patience pan out. And it was just a great night. A lot of fun to call this race. I'm really, really excited for these final 4 races as the playoffs kick off.
Yes, and we will be right back with you tomorrow night as we're going to do this all over again. I believe we're going to a road course here in the Xfinity cars here on the Racers Elite Network. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will see you then.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.